Hey, how's it going? Yesterday was my father's birthday, June 12th. And what's really wild is that he passed July 12th. Before my father passed, I would say, as an adult and even as an early adult in my 20s and my 30s, I would say, if my father passed, I wouldn't care. Why would I care for a guy that wasn't even there? He was off being a complete disaster on his end, right? And I have younger siblings. And when my father passed, thank you, Alan. Love you. My brother wheeled me back because it was going to be, oh my goodness. I'm so glad I didn't embarrass the family. It would have been like someone, oh my goodness. Did she put her cousin in a headlock and suplexed her? Yeah, that would have been me. Because my father's family is a complete disaster. Colorism. If you don't fit a mold the way they believe that you should be, and he should have got with this person, not my mother. Oh no, not her. Anybody but her. She is below our standards. I'm like, have you met your daughter? But it took me a long time to understand that my father couldn't give me or my two siblings anything that he didn't have. And when he passed, I completely broke down because I'm just like, wait a minute, why am I feeling this? I shouldn't feel this for somebody who just threw a seed in there, and boop, got me. And after when he passed, it has been 5 years, and he passed in 2021, and it gave me a lot of time to think and to basically grow up. Look, you don't grow up when you're 18. You don't grow up when you're 25 or 30. You better hit your 50s to learn something, okay? And I looked at how he grew up, having a mother like my grandmother. I mean, if you weren't the right color, like my brother, you're not light enough. You're a little bit too dark. That goes against. It goes against. But it's a little strange because, my aunt, her two children are darker, but completely love them, right? But there's something about me, my younger brother and sister. Now, they, not so much my younger sister, because they basically adored her because she's light and she looks like my dad. And, I'm lighter and I look like my mom and my dad, but my brother is a spitting image of our dad, but he's darker. And just how that woman, yes, that woman, did mental gymnastics to basically isolate us. Oh, look. If you got great grandparents, you're lucky. You're lucky. Now, if you screwed that up, that's on you. Okay, that's on you. But there are those of us who just simply was, ostracized for whatever cockamamie reasons that they came up with would fit their narrative and what they believed that things should be, not considering that isolating a child that had nothing to do with what your son or daughter were doing and who they were doing it with and how you disapproved. That has nothing to do with the children, but the fact that you put that on the children is a horrible thing to do to your bloodline. It stunts the growth. It makes going through society so much different, so much harder when it doesn't have to be. When we as a human being saying, I do the best I can to bring forth a good seed to make society better. You're damn lying, Stop lying. But let me back it up here. When a father is absent in a daughter's life, it puts the daughter in a position to where one or two things can happen. She seeks love sexually, or she beats the crap out of people. I was a ladder. I was a ladder. Oh man. And that makes it harder for her to even have a relationship, even a healthy relationship, to even start a family, because you're starting off in a deficit. Now, even, for sons that lack their mothers, it doesn't give them that opposite end to have compassion and empathy. And it's basically a devastating thing, to where he may run out there and just populate as many girls as possible, spread his seed all over the place, because he only had that father figure, which is great, but he didn't have anything balancing that out to where he could say, okay, let me try this, let me listen to my mom, let me, try that, simple stuff like that. So thinking over the past 5 years, I have to say, I matured a lot. And just really understanding that he couldn't give me what he didn't have. And, before my dad passed, like 20 years before he passed, he said to me, Laura, my dad, I tracked him down. He went to Philly, tracked him down to Philly. He said he sat down, had a beer with him, had a talk. He never said what the conversation was about. Whatever answers he got, and he left, and he went back home, and that was it. Now, how that stunted him, I could only imagine, because his mother, woo, when you're looking up in the sky and you see something flying across, that's not a UFO. No, that's her. That's her. And her daughter, my aunt, flying right behind him, or her. So, reflecting on that, the only thing that I can say is, look, be mindful before you start bringing children into this world, and you're doing it from the mindset of lust and not looking at legacy. You're looking at simply in the moment and not how that moment will be extended. But, I'm getting there. And those of you who know me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're not like, and guess what? I'm still the same. I'm a half a century, and I calm down a lot. My mom, but my little brother, he's 5 years younger than I am, and then like a 20-year gap between my younger sister. I'm just like, Dad, oh my goodness, Dad, why? Not that I don't love my little sister. I do. I love my little sister. It's just that, why did you do that, Dad? I mean, stop creating families. And you can't bring us all under one roof and just give us a big hug. But this may help someone. I don't know. I hope so. But as you get older, the pain doesn't just go away. It's right. That emptiness is right there, and how you feel that emptiness is very important, because you some people might feel it with having a whole bunch of babies. That it happens because you have that emptiness, and then you have some guy come up and say, "Hey, you're good looking. Can I take you out on a date?" And then you having that emptiness, you're gonna grab onto that. And even with guys, you had that girl come up and say, "Hey, you look good looking. You could take me out tonight." And next thing you know, you find yourself in something crazy. So, doesn't matter how old you are. That emptiness is still there. Therapy is great. It does help. It numbs it, but it doesn't take it away, because you always have that thing going on in the background of what could have been if